Welcome back to Plants and Paperbacks. In this video, I'm doing all of the things, a lot of batch cooking, and ending the afternoon with a little much-deserved yoga time, and Ollie time, of course. I've been falling into a bit of a rhythm without really meaning to lately, just starting with getting the house sort of buttoned up for the morning from the night before, turning on all the low lights. I really prefer the lamp lighting throughout a lot of the day. It's just a little bit softer, a little bit gentler. And I like to do a quick little tidy up, getting cat hair off the couch, that sort of thing, fluffing the pillows. And lately I've taken on the cat box chore myself. This used to be my husband's job for years, but I'm getting in the habit of remembering to do it a couple times a day. Does anyone else make their bed around their animals? My cats in particular. They expect me to work around them because I do. You can see up above that drywall damage I mentioned from the tornado that still needs to be repaired, and that's where the tree sort of landed on that part of the roof and was leaking, and we've just sort of got some tape on there now, but we've got the drywall for it and it's going to be fixed pretty soon. Just putting some things away back into the pantry, doing up some dishes. I always do the dishes before I go to bed, and then inevitably by morning there's some stragglers in there. On this particular morning though, I had already made breakfast. I made a chocolate peanut butter protein smoothie. It's something I had once in, I think it was Nashville, and it was, I don't know, I called it like a monkey smoothie because it's a lot of frozen bananas, peanut butter, really good stuff, and then the chocolate protein by Vega. That's what I made for Lorelai and I for breakfast. Here I'm doing my version of getting ready. I'm not a fancy hair person or anything, but just a little something something, and got myself ready because I knew I had a lot going on this day. I really wanted to prepare some things in advance, but took the time to do a little bit of reading. I'm reading this giant tome called Conscious Conception, and it's going to probably take me a hot minute to read because I'm just going to do a few pages here and there as I'm up for it. And it's not going to be my main read or anything like that. Just something I'd really like to work through and read all the way through from beginning to end. It's just so full of information. It's out of print, hard to find. I believe the author is Janine Parvati Baker. And I had to find this special ordered on eBay, I think it was, to get a copy. I also wanted to show you this little copywork idea I found from another channel, Raising Wildflowers, and she just prints out things and tapes it into a book, and I thought that was such a great idea. So I'd been doing, like we do affirmations, things like that. This is a Waldorf poem that we used to sing before story time, and now I sing it before bed. An earth poem, that's one of my favorites, Hurt No Living Thing, and that's a really good one. If you haven't looked that one up, I think it's by Christina Rossetti. I might have that wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's something like her name. And then you just tape in what you printed off. And oh, I included this Reiki creed. I'm a Reiki practitioner, and this is something I feel like applies whether you're doing Reiki or not. We've got little mindfulness quotes in there, affirmations, things like that. Just really great for being able to put anything in, and you can really tailor it to if they're able to write a lot or a short amount all at once. I am starting out my batch cooking with my soaked chickpeas and soaked lentils. I soaked several kinds of beans overnight, and I started with putting the chickpeas in the Instant Pot first and getting started on a big batch of pasta sauce, rinsing mushrooms, chopping mushrooms. I also added in garlic with the mushrooms, like 2 cloves, and that's about 8 ounces of mushrooms there. Sorry, I tried to make this video short, so I'm kind of speeding through the audio here to keep up with the video. And I made 3 boxes of this chickpea pasta. I think there's 1 kind of lentil and 2 kinds of chickpea. I had to sweep because I spilled some pasta, but it's about 1.5 pounds of noodles there. And then I added in about 1.5 jars of Newman's Own sauce to the mushrooms. And I also added in my lentils, and towards the end there, as the lentils were simmering away and reducing, I added in some torn up spinach and a couple tablespoons of nutritional yeast. Can't go wrong. That stuff is great. And good B12 too. So I let this reduce for a while and moved on to other things. And I also added in a few splashes of soy milk. I'm not huge on tomato-based things, and I find that adding a little bit of something creamy, makes it a little bit pinker and just lightens it up a bit. I was sharing this iced tea because I used to steep it, like boil it and then let it steep and have to cool down. And I started just cold steeping it like an infusion, and it works perfectly well. I just add in the tea bags, let it sit overnight. Perfect iced tea without the boiling. Here I'm making a little snack for Lorelai before she revolts because I'd already been in the kitchen a couple hours, believe it or not. This is all sped up, but I'd at least been in there an hour and a half or so, and I could tell she was getting hungry, so I got her a little plate of yummies, and it's just something to keep her busy. And then all this, I like to rinse cold water until that chickpea or lentil pasta cools down. It stops the cooking process, or else they get really mushy. Here I'm making a big batch of dog food. Gross. But it's a big tray of chicken thighs, 2 trays of gizzards. Ugh. I added in 2 cups of brown rice, about 2 cups of mixed vegetables, and some chicken stock from that roast chicken I made for Justin last week. If you remember in that video, I had saved the bones and made stock out of it, and you can reuse it for pet food. So there I am with hopefully at least a week or 2 of dog food. He's pretty picky, so I added in some olive oil into that meat as well, just a little bit, and he likes everything but the green beans. And as you can see, the cat did too. In case you noticed in the background of that other clip there. Messy kitchen? Boom. If only it was that easy. Am I right? Whew, that was a mess to clean up though. But hey, a nice clean sink afterwards. Some things I didn't show in this video were that I also did Instant Pot beans, and I made up the hummus, and by this point I really needed a snack. Oh man, this was actually a lot, and I didn't realize how much I'd condensed down the clips. Makes it look so quick and easy. But no, I was in the kitchen about 3 or 4 hours, even using the Instant Pot. But you have to wait for everything to cool down, put everything away. But worth it. I have a ton of pasta sauce we can use up, and, noodles you can just zap really quick. Preparedness for me is key. Having something on hand for when you waited too long to eat and you're starving to death saves you from making less positive choices. Here I am stretching it out. Ollie's not as good about my yoga time as Clark was. Clark was super chill, and Ollie's just not sure what to make of it, but he's a fun little buddy to have around all the same. So I wanted to just share a little bit of my day. And in the meantime, I'll leave you with this quote attributed to Kenneth Wapnick. We should be grateful for all situations that make us the most uncomfortable, because without them, we would not know there is something unhealed in us. I hope you have an awesome week, an awesome weekend, wherever you're at. See you next time.